on YouTube. So I know it's been a while, but we're back at it again. A lot of things have been going on. A lot of freight's been moved, but we're staying busy. That's the best thing. And right now, the freight's kind of slow, but we're staying afloat, and that's what matters the most right now. So we got a load. We're going to an area we haven't been to in a really long time. This go around. We're going to Maine, way up north. Pretty much as far north as you can go in Maine. We're going into Canada. Hauling a load I've hauled lots of times when I was with Prime. First time with my buddy. It was my first time with him, and the rate's definitely a lot better, so that's always a good thing. But we'll take a look at it and see, show you the reason why I do certain things with these kind of loads. These loads can be kind of tricky. Some people think that, I had a couple guys saying that the way I secured it was a little bit over dramatic, but that's just my decision. I don't trust these very much. But let's go ahead and take a look at it, and we'll talk about how I secured it. So this is the load. It's basically a sprinkler system for a field irrigation system. You'll see them out in the fields in ranch on farms where they have the rubber tires, and they will, as they go, they just kind of go real slow across the field back and forth and water the field. And so it's a pretty good system. It doesn't weigh very much. It's pretty light. So from the start, we've got this little motor in the front here. I can't strap over the top because there's a radiator here, so you'll damage that. So what I end up doing was I run a strap, two straps. They go underneath here, as you can see, go underneath here, go over top of the frame in there, and on the other side, and same with this one, so it holds down, and also it can't go forward. And it's rode right there for the past 1,300 miles, and it hasn't moved. Now on these loads, what they do is when you get loaded, they put your tire, you're going one building, they put your tires and all this miscellaneous stuff first. So they have the tires in the back, tires in the front, and then they go to when you go to an overhead crane, they put your pipe up top. This is a small load. Usually they're a lot bigger. There's usually a lot more pipe. I've always said that these loads work great with step decks, just because of the way the step decks are set up, and it just rides better than a flatbed would. But so what they want you to do, and this is what I do, I'll put a strap right above the tires and I crank it down as tight as I can get. I usually bounce my bar, just getting as tight as I can, and I do the same thing on the back. Now a lot of guys just do this, where they push strap over the top, down the pipe. I do that, and you always make sure, as you can see, I put a half twist on these straps. And that's to prevent them from vibrating and coming loose and damaging your strap, also can damage the product. I go one step farther with it. What I do is I'll take two, like I've got one there and one here, and I do what they call a gut wrap, where I go that way, up and over the pipe, and back down the other side. And what that does is it squeezes it together, but also pulls it down. And it keeps the pipe from spreading apart. Because as you can see, they do put 2x4s up there and nail it, but there's only one nail holding those boards on. So if that one nail gives out and that pipe decides to roll out and hit that pipe, that wood, and it gives out, well then there goes your load. So I always put that gut wrap on there. Pretty simple. These boxes right here, I put straps to the boxes. These are the actual hubs for the tires. I put that there, and then all these I just put a strap over these pipes right here, a strap over that box right there. These you have to strap separate. You have to make sure you put these extra tight. One there, I cross them, so I put one strap pulling that direction, the other strap pulling this direction, because if those move, then those tires go out, and then that goes out. So you have to make sure you're really tight there. And then I put, of course, I have the first two straps within 10 feet, and these straps are well within 10 feet of each other, so that makes it all legal. Because you have to look at your weight, but also the length. It's not a very heavy load. It doesn't necessarily need that many straps on it, but because it's so long, you have to follow the length rule. So you have one strap and then two straps within the first 10 feet, and every 10 feet after that is a strap because of the length. As you can see, really easy load. it's been riding great. I just ended up closing my axles because I'm about to go to New York here shortly, and you have to have your axles closed in New York. But and then I got the extra spare tire up there at top, strap over it, holding it down. We're there, and what I did here is I put edge protectors here for the simple fact because I knew I was going to be pulling it really tight, and I didn't want my straps being cut on that wood, so I put edge protectors on both sides to protect my straps. That way I could really crank down on them. And so far it's riding really well. But yeah, I mean, pretty easy load, pretty straightforward. Sorry if this video quality's not that great. My phone's been acting up, and I'm not feeling too hot this morning, but I figured I would throw a video out here while I was waiting for my 10-hour break to finish up. And that's another thing you can do too, is when you put the gut straps on here, like I was saying, when you pull it tight, that also can prevent this pipe from sliding forward. Because I can't build a bulkhead because it's so tall up. So that squeezing that together can kind of pinch them all together so they don't slide forward as well, or slide backwards as well. So those gut wraps are definitely a good thing to do. That's just the way I like to do it on these loads. It just makes me feel better as I'm driving down the highway. Especially, you know, lately I've been driving at night, so I can't see the load. So as long as I see my straps and I know they're not shaking or vibrating, and I know everything's still tight, nothing's moved, then that makes me feel better. Right now we're at the state line of PA. Just crossing the PA last night. I'm at exit 3. Stopped at this little shutdown truck stop. But yeah, that's the load right there. Pretty easy. Like I said, always make sure if you're gonna haul these, in my opinion, always put a gut wrap. At least 2 gut wraps, and that holds everything together. Then strap over the top, and then everything else is straightforward when it comes to securing everything on the bottom. You always make sure. I've seen some guys just put 1 strap over these, and I don't agree with that, because like I said, if these move, then those move. So I always put 1 on each end, and that's why they put this wood here on your deck. 1 to protect your deck, but also protect this. So when you really crank down these things, it digs into this and it won't move. So I always put a strap on that end and 1 on that end, and that keeps it from moving. So far it's been riding really well. The only thing that I'm not looking forward to now is I like to open ride when I have something that overhangs my axles. I like to ride with my axles open, because that takes the bounce out of the load. Because I'm going to New York, I have to have them closed, so now it can be more bouncy back here. So I need to watch this stack and make sure I watch these straps, see if they come loose at all coming down the highway. Usually that's pretty, across I-90 in New York's pretty smooth, so we should have no problems, but it's definitely something I'm gonna keep my eye on. But yeah, that's the load right there. It's panning out right there, and pretty easy load. Can't complain. It's been riding great. Pays pretty good. So, but yeah, we'll catch you on the next one, and thanks for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe. If you have any comments, requests, make sure you comment. Suggestions, I'm always open to suggestions, so hit me up, and we'll see you, and I'll show the video of them unloading it. See you later.